Welcome to my channel. I am GDP, and today I'm going to talk a little bit more about two new heroes we got this week, Morax and Void Queen, and their uses in PvP. Um, I really don't have too much to talk about on Morax, specifically because he does not fit in the end game meta right now. He's kind of one of those heroes where he's just kind of like, hey, if I'm alive, I'm going to do a lot of damage and I'm going to hurt. But he doesn't do a whole lot of burst damage. He actually takes some ramp up time to get for his basic attacks to gain extra shells. And then when he does his active, he will do a massive amount of damage. A few side notes here. The last passive here is dynamic, so it doesn't stack up on top of itself. So when you lose health, you gain the damage reduction and extra damage. And then if you heal back up, you don't keep it, you actually lose it. So it's actually on a dynamic scale. So if you're at full HP, you are not benefiting from this last passive at all. So it's more of just hey, like I'm about to die, I'm gonna do a lot more damage and be a little bit more tanky. So that's going to do really, really, really well in the early game. It's going to do really well in the mid game and into the late game. And then once you start facing Void heroes, he's going to fall off really, really hard. But if you're not facing Void heroes, you can see something like this.
Double kill! Finish her! Triple kill!
Flawless victory.
And he can actually destroy people. So like if you're not facing Void heroes, he's actually a really strong hero. But Void heroes are going to start becoming more and more common, and he's basically not going to be worth your investment. Another side note is each of his extra ammos can individually crit. So you can have some that crit and some that don't. That was another thing that I did notice. And each extra ammo, it looks like, does 2 instances of damage, but counts as 1 hit each. So each extra ammo will take off a raw shield, to take off unbending will stack. The unfortunate thing, though, is if you hit an SFX with her dodge passive up, SFX will dodge every single one of your extra ammos. It doesn't consume one on one hit. She will actually consume multiple. So that actually makes him even worse against Void heroes. So that's really all I have to say too much about Morax. He's going to be really, really strong in the early to mid game. Useful in the late game until you start seeing Void heroes. Because once you start seeing Void heroes, he really starts to fall off. You could work in a Queen team, but if you go against SFX, he's not going to do very well against. But let's talk about Queen. Starting off with the last passive here. It's very, very strong. The higher attack your other heroes are, the more damage this will do. And at Void 3, it's actually 1000%, not 800%, so a lot of people will have that. It's basically like active damage almost. Like 1000% attack's ridiculous on a passive skill. So it does do a lot of damage, and it scales with armor reduce, so armor break, precision, holy damage, all of that boost it. Skill damage doesn't, and a DR works. All DR works. All A and B works to reduce this damage if you're getting hit by this. So it's basically a normal form of damage. It can be reduced by anything. It can be boosted by just about everything that boosts damage. Can't crit, obviously. It's passives. The heal here, if she does become low HP, this is actually kind of a common theme with imprinted heroes. A lot of times those imprinted heroes are the highest HP, so a Sherlock will target them on his HP swaps. So it's possible that your queen or SFX or someone will die if they get low, and then this activates, or their E3 heal activates when they're low HP, and then they just kill themselves. So that is one of the counters to Void heroes right now. In my clips I will be showing a little bit later, I do utilize that in my team to try to get as many lock swaps as possible, try to get those high HP heroes down to low HP and then kill them with a raw curse or something. But this passive, you do kind of watch out with killing yourself off of raw curse. This basic attack, super strong, basically like an active, and then her active is basically just absolutely strong. It's ridiculously strong how much damage it does. And with the combination of her active and passive, you can build teams that do this.
Flawless victory.
And it is absolutely insane. But let's go ahead and talk about builds on Queen. I know I didn't cover any really for Morax because Morax is going to be more of an early game hero, so they're not going to be able to build for late game. But let's talk about Queen's build. Most of the time you're going to be running a Splendid AMB on her with a speed attack stone. You can go attack if you don't need the speed. But full ranger is typically the way to go because this gives you your speed, and then if you're running boots for your speed, you're going to be running a full ranger set for extra attack, unless you're going to 2-2 split for a tank build, but you don't do tank build on Queen. So you just go run your full ranger. It gives you your speed and your attack. If you don't need the speed, you can go a 1-3 split by just leaving probably your accessory for the damage reduction, and go 1-3 with the weapon, chest, and boots as 6 stars. But most likely you're going to run ranger. If you don't have multiple Augustus Magic's balls, because maybe you have one on your Russell or your SFX or a different hero, you can run a crown or an upgraded crown. You could also run a demon bell if you're running an energy kind of feed team and you just need her to have the energy. That is viable but not recommended. But overall her best build is A and B. So let's go ahead, roll the clip of a couple fights here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was a little bit informational. Hope you guys learned something. And I'll see you guys in the next one.